I came across this footage from CBS News from several years back. Just another nail in the coffin in the whole globe heliocentric model. And people that watch this, the masses, the millions upon millions of people that watch CBS News have no idea what is being presented. They never looked at their own heliocentric model to have a clue that it has holes in it. Let's get right to the footage, and I'll break it all down.
A rough triangle in the dawn sky, if you can see, with Jupiter on the top left there, bright Venus in the center, Mercury to the right, and then tiny red Mars down below.
So again, we're looking at this footage from CBS News, and they're showing Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and Mars all basically in one shot in the darkness of night. And here's the major problem with this. And again, people that believe in the globe model, and they'll mock and ridicule the flat earth, which of course has a really bad stigma, and that is by design to keep people away from the truth, from the creator, that we live under God's firmament. And let's get right to it with this bogus heliocentric model cartoon that we all have seen, this cartoon depiction of this so-called universe, so-called system, the heliocentric model, again, that we supposedly live in, which is complete, utter nonsense. And you see the so-called planetary alignment with Mercury, Venus, the so-called ball Earth, Mars, and Jupiter. And let's get actually a better look here. And here's the major issue. Again, getting back, when you look at this, again, in the darkness of night, all these so-called planets, which are nothing more than wandering stars underneath the firmament. And again, here's the issue. When you have the so-called ball Earth at night, how is it possible to see Venus and Mercury in alignment with Mars and Jupiter? This is 100% impossible. Cannot happen. And this is a nail in the coffin 100% on the whole heliocentric model. Now, I know there will be a lot of people heavily indoctrinated in this whole ball Earth lie system, this heliocentric model. They're going to try to find a way to weasel their way out of this. There's no way to weasel your way out of this one. And this, again, whole entire heliocentric model helps debunk the whole ridiculous notion of the heliocentric model itself. Let's take a look here at this graph here. And we can see here the yellow is visible at night from the so-called ball Earth, visible in the morning behind the sun, and visible in the evening. And again, I need to really emphasize, again, from CBS News, this is at night. This is not at evening. This is not in the morning. This is at night, as they stated. Here's the problem. There's absolutely no way, again, you can get Venus and Mercury with the whole entire heliocentric model to be viewable at night. So again, this is 100% debunks the whole heliocentric model. I know there'll be ball earthers raging over this, trying to debunk this video. There's no way. There's absolutely no way around this. And again, I want to demonstrate this as I've shown before. You look at this fake, phony globe that millions upon millions of zombies across this flat plane own and possess, and they don't read the fine print. Underneath, it states globes are not meant for educational purpose, but only decorative purpose. And this is, of course, flat out mockery. Not only that, the globe will give you cancer according to the state of California. So you got two in one. You got the mockery of the fake phony ball Earth, and this fake phony globe that you buy can give you cancer. Again, the two in one. And what I find interesting too, over the years, I've shown this depiction from this TV show from 1983 called V for Visitors. These aliens, so-called aliens from other worlds, these reptilians, and the Supreme Leader Diana. And what is she hovering over? The whole flat Earth model with the dome, the firmament. Underneath, you see the sun and the moon making the circular motion, and the constellations locked within the firmament. And that gets back to the mockery of the planetariums themselves. You have this one here in Canada, and you have the whole Star Trek theme that they once had this Star Trek exhibit. And take a look here. As you see, many people have been to planetariums, of course, and you look at the inside of the structure itself. It's just like the world we live in. If someone told you these stars are hundreds of millions of light years away, you just take their word for it and you believe it without evidence. And that's the problem with society. They just take what science says without question, And this is what it comes down to. Literally, just like the world we live in, the firmament that's above. You cannot judge the distance by visuals how far something is. You can't measure the distance of how far it is. Again, we're just told how far it is. Never been verified, never proven through science. Also, a major nail in the coffin when it comes to the heliocentric model, with the sun supposedly moving 500,000 miles an hour through space, with all the so-called planets basically vortexing around it. And if that was actually happening, why do we see star trails going around in circles? It should be a big blur as again the sun is moving along with all the so-called planets. This would not happen 100%. We just again get a big blur of this tremendous speed, supposed tremendous speed, and obviously it's not happening. And again, science is through observation, and what they tell us, if it doesn't match our observations, you could throw out the window. And that gets back to what I showed earlier, getting back to the main point of this video, and that definitely is the evidence showing how we can see, again, Venus and Mercury, along with Jupiter and Mars. And again, this is literally impossible. 100%. This debunks the heliocentric model without a shadow of a doubt.